welcome back to a brand new video on the channel, guys. So what I have for you guys today is going to be another episode of the Championship Transfer Rumour Roundup, and in this video here today, guys, we have got a lot of transfer rumours to go ahead and discuss which are currently floating around the Championship. And as always, I'd be very interested to hear what your guys' opinions are on all of the latest transfer rumours. And just before we do get into any of the transfer rumours, guys, I will quickly talk you through the schedule for videos coming up this week. So today, obviously, I'll bring you guys some of the latest transfer rumours going around the Championship. Tomorrow, that will be when the Championship Roundup does come out. The reason I'm not uploading that today is because we've actually still got some Championship games going on tonight as well, so we've got them to look forward to. So tomorrow should be when the Championship Roundup comes out, and then after that, I should have another video, and then I will be doing some FA Cup score predictions on the Friday as well. So I'd be interested to know from you guys, are you hopeful of what is to come in this transfer window? Are you looking forward to what it has to bring to your club, or are you a little bit nervous that your club could be losing some pretty big players in this transfer window? Let me know, because I feel like fans of different clubs will have different feelings going into this window. And before we get into talking about any of the players currently being linked with a move, the latest managerial talk in the Championship going around. When I'm recording this video, Aita Karanka is currently the favourite for the Nottingham Forest managerial job, and for me, that would be a very good appointment actually for Forest. He fits into how they like to play football at Forest. You know, that squad I think has the potential to fit into the way Karanka plays as well, so that would probably be the best option available for Forest at the moment if they are able to get that over the line. Forest fans, would you like to see Karanka come into the job? Let me know down below. And then another manager being linked to the Championship at the moment is Paul Lambert, who is currently the favourite for the Sheffield Wednesday job when I'm recording this video. Now that was one which, that did slightly surprise me, I'm not going to lie. Paul Lambert being linked to that job, obviously, he has been around the Championship, so he probably would be able to, you know, steady the ship, if you will, at Sheffield Wednesday. But is he the sort of manager that could take them to the next level where Carlos couldn't? I'm not so sure. But now, guys, we will move on into some transfer rumours. So the first transfer rumour going around the Championship at the moment is that of Nelson Oliveira, who is being linked with a move to Wolves. Now, in the summer transfer window, this was a rumour which did come up there as well. You know, Oliveira was being linked heavily away from Norwich City, and ever since, you know, so far this season, I get the impression that the relationship between Oliveira and Farke isn't really the best. You know, in some of his latest performances, Oliveira as well, he has seemed a little bit sulky and a little bit like he doesn't want to be at Norwich. You know, in the summer transfer window, it was Reading who were the side who were heavily linked with him, and they may well, you know, come back in for him in January. But at the moment, it is Wolves who are looking like the front runners for him, and it would make sense. You know, obviously he is Portuguese, he'd fit into that side of the Wolves squad, and is a very good player. You know, so far this season, he has scored 7 goals, which on the face of things may not be the best for a striker, but to take into consideration, he hasn't played every game so far this season. You know, he has been on the bench quite a bit, and as well as that, Norwich are one of the lowest scoring sides so far this season, so to be scoring 7 goals for a rarely low scoring team, that's not too bad. However, one transfer which could have an effect on that one actually is Cameron Jerome, as he is also being linked with a move away from Norwich City. Now, Norwich at the moment, I believe they've only got 2 strikers in both Oliveira and Jerome. I mean, they've got a couple of other players that could play up front, but out and out, they've only got 2 first-team strikers. So I can't really see a world in which Norwich will let both of their first-team strikers leave in the same window. Considering as well the amount of problems that they've had with scoring goals this season, I just can't see them letting go of both strikers. But at the moment, Cameron Jerome is being linked with a move to quite a few Championship teams actually. Cardiff, Derby, Sunderland and Birmingham are all said to be interested in Cameron Jerome, and he's a player who, I mean, he's been quite out of favour with Daniel Farke as well. So far this season, he's only scored 1 goal, and so it's no surprise he's being linked with a move away. Once again, we're seeing Jordan Much being linked with a move to Burton Albion. Now, this was a move which was heavily linked in the summer transfer and very nearly went through, I think, on deadline day, but it didn't go over the line in the end. They're being linked with a move for him on loan from Crystal Palace, and as he, you know, he's not been in their team so far this season, so this one would make sense. Another player in the Championship who is currently attracting some Premier League interest is that of Jarrod Bowen of Hull City, and this really should come as no surprise really to Hull fans. He has been absolutely sublime for them so far this season. You know, in what has been a very disappointing season for Hull, it has been Jarrod Bowen who has been the starlet in their season so far. Only 21 years old, and he's already scored 11 goals for them so far this season, some of them being some absolute worldies as well. It's no surprise he's been linked to the Premier League, you know. And the clubs currently interested are said to be both Swansea and Brighton. And I mean, I think he would do a job in the Premier League, you know. I think maybe it would be best for him to have maybe another full season in the Championship to really develop him as a player. I'm sure Hull will be hoping for the same. But a question I asked to Hull fans is, how much would you be willing to let Jarrod Bowen go for? Let me know down below. Another youngster being linked to the Championship is that of Joe Williams. Now, he's of course currently playing for Barnsley, currently on loan from Everton, but Barnsley are hoping that in this transfer window they'll be able to make that a permanent deal. And this would be a very good move for Barnsley, you know. He fits into that club ethos that Barnsley have of developing, bringing in young players and developing them. He's 21 years old and so far this season done a very good job for them. Bartosz Białkowski of Ipswich Town is being linked to a move to Crystal Palace, and of course with Crystal Palace at the moment in the lookout for a goalkeeper, he has come up on their radar, and I'm sure Ipswich fans, they have to keep hold of this guy surely, you know. In the Championship so far, I'd say he's probably been in my top 3 goalkeepers of the season so far. I'd be interested to know from you guys, who do you think has been the best goalkeeper in the league so far? I'd say probably him, Scott Carlson and Sam Johnson, maybe Angus Gunn as well, are in my top contenders for goalkeeper of the season so far. But he's been great for them, and it's no surprise that he's been linked to the Premier League. A move which did surprise me slightly when it did come up was Nick Powell being linked to a move to Aston Villa. Now, Aston Villa are a side which, I mean, they could probably fund this move, but even so, I don't feel like they're in need of an attacking midfielder at the moment. I feel like they've got that position sort of nailed down. Maybe they need a bit more cover in that area, but I thought they'd be looking to strengthen a couple other areas. But so far this season, Nick Powell has been able to score 11 goals for Wigan Athletic in League One, and he showed last season he could do it in the Championship, you know. Towards the end of last season, he was in a great run of form. Leeds United are being heavily linked with a move for Middlesbrough's Adam Clayton, and Adam Clayton is a really interesting player actually, of course. With Middlesbrough now under a new manager of Tony Pulis, it'll be interesting to see whether Adam Clayton can go ahead and get his first team spot in the team back, you know. Under Gary Monk, he couldn't really nail down that spot, and so it's no surprise he's being linked with a move away from Middlesbrough. And, you know, if Leeds were able to snap him up, I think that would be a great deal for him. You know, they are in need of a little bit of cover in that area of the pitch, and Adam Clayton, with all his Championship experience, really would suit that Leeds squad very well, actually. And Derby County are said to be another side which are interested in his services. And a rumour which caught no one off guard, really, is that of Chris Martin being linked with a move away from Derby County. Now, Derby so far this season, they have been the story of the season, currently sat second in the Championship, of course, and, I mean, Chris Martin, he's just not getting into that Derby side anytime soon, is he? So far this season, he's only made 5 starts for Derby and only scored 1 goal for them. And with some of the other attacking options that Derby have at the moment, you know, there's no chance he's getting in ahead of the likes of Mate Vidra or David Nugent. You know, it's just not happening for him. So he's been linked with a move away from Derby. Currently, Fulham are said to be interested once again. Fulham probably in need of a striker like Chris Martin, and of course he was on loan there last season. And if he was to go, Derby are said to be interested in the services of Che Adams from Birmingham City. Now, I'm not sure about the legitimacy of this transfer rumour. Seems to be just one of those surface ones which won't have that much depth maybe, but if this rumour does have some truth in it, this could be a really phenomenal signing for Derby County, as I think they were linked to him slightly in the summer transfer window, and he's a player which, I mean, with that Derby attacking lineup, if you add some more pace into it in the likes of Che Adams, they really could be unstoppable going forward. But I get the impression that Birmingham would demand quite a high fee for him. You know, he is one of their biggest potential players at the moment, and so not sure Derby would be coughing that much up for him. And we're also seeing Michael Preston being linked with quite a few players in the transfer window at the moment. The first of which being Billy Bowden, who is currently playing for Bristol Rovers. Now, he's a winger, and so far this season has scored 11 goals in all competitions, and I'd be quite interested in getting this guy. You know, I think it's pretty obvious to see we do need more cover in the winger's position. You know, if you just look at Tom Barkhuizen so far this season, to me at least, he looks absolutely shattered at the moment. You know, he's played pretty much every game in the Championship so far this season, and in my opinion, he does need a rest, but we've not really got all too much cover for that at the moment, especially with the likes of Shawnee Maguire out injured. I'd like to see someone like this come in. And Preston have also had a bid rejected for Josh Windass from Rangers. Now, another winger currently being linked to Preston North End. The bid was said to be around about 500k, so about $500,000 that we have had rejected. Rangers are said to want around about 2 million, which, I mean, that's just not going to happen for Preston. But so far for Rangers, he has had a very impressive season actually. Managed to score 6 goals and been very involved for them in their overall play. Probably been one of Rangers' best players so far this season, actually. And I watched him in the derby against Celtic. He had a pretty good game in that one as well. But Preston, I can't see us going much higher than around about 750k. So if we're not able to get him for that, I can't see this one happening. So guys, there were some of the transfer rumours which are currently going around the Championship. So have you guys seen any other rumours that we've not mentioned today? Leave them in the comments down below and we can have a bit of a discussion about them. But apart from that, guys, that will now wrap it up for this video. So if you have enjoyed, make sure you do leave a like. It is always massively appreciated. As well as that, make sure you do subscribe for some regular Championship content. But apart from that, guys, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you all in the next one.